top teams will be hanging out and preparing for the Tarkastad 400. A lot of the riders relaxing in the morning, and nutrition and hydration going to be a very, very important part of the day, as temperatures expected to soar to around the 37-38 degree mark today. A lot of riders preparing themselves for the day, and doing so putting bandages on the hands, because obviously blisters and bruises and cuts going to be a part of the day. Most of the top teams here, including the Miller Moore racing team from Honda over to KTM, the Gas team here with Graham McLaughlin aboard his new Gas. Well, look at that. Wade Miller, owner of Miller Moore Racing, getting hands-on preparing the bikes. Vitargo, new sponsor of the Yamaha team this year, and glad to see new sponsors getting involved. Eclipse Kawasaki certainly nicely turned out, and Bombardiers by the dozen. Haven't they bought a lot of those guys for the quad event? Well, Alfie Cox's KTM squad, and now sponsored by Nasher. Good to see Nasher getting back in a different form of motorsport. A lot of changes in off-road. Let's speak to some of the top riders.
Yeah, the team's good. You know, Clayton's moved into KTM now, and I mean, obviously he's always the danger man. Daryl's moved to Yamaha, and Barry Creel's now come off from a smaller bike, from the 200 into the 250 class. And yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Different guys everywhere, and yeah, many teams. Yamaha, Suzuki, I see, have come and made a comeback. You know, KTM I still think is the biggest team, but you know, we've got Honda, the Miller Moore team, you know, so it's really going to be good for racing this year. I mean, the masses that have come out, I think it's great to see so many riders, and I just hope it's going to work out.
Okay, Daryl, new team this year, how's it going?
Well, I'm looking forward to the year. Back on Yamaha again. Last time I rode Yamaha was back in '94, and I'm used to the bike. It didn't take me long to get the feel of it, and I feel comfortable on it. I'm starting second this morning, but as you know, there's going to be a lot of dust. It's just Graham in front of me. Alfie, Barry, Alma, all the guys are going to be Gradix coming. I know he's going to come through strong. He always at Tarkastad comes through at the end of the day, so it's going to be a tough race.
I think we're going to have some fun. I'm me and Alfie on the 380 today, so the conditions might be tight. So it's not really for us, but other than that, everything's just working out great. So you're going to see today's a long day, see what it brings us.
Awesome. Started the year off great. Did 1 or 2 regionals down in Natal, and had good runs there. I think we're going to have a good year ahead of us. It's a long season. We've got 8 races. So first race, I think it's just, for me, I'm just going to take it easy and consider the whole year. You know, it's a long year, race by race.
To spar somebody in the dust is virtually impossible, and I think we're going to be predicted 38 degrees today, and I think we're going to dehydrate quite a bit today.
I'm on the new Gas. It's really fun to ride. This bike off the floor is so easy to ride. I think that's my advantage. So today I'm going to try and keep it together. I think I've got an advantage on the other guys. I'm going to have fun. That's what it's all about.
Well, have fun or be serious, whatever you want. We're on the start line for 400 kilometers of off-road racing. Graham McLaughlin, the man in pole position. Everyone getting their butterflies flying in formation. Join us after the break for thrills and spills of off-road racing. McLaughlin, he won the time trial, and he's going to be out here first, taking starters orders, and away he goes. Graham McLaughlin, 400 kilometers of racing to go. He goes around the showgrounds using the edge as a berm. Graham McLaughlin flying away. We have someone standing in the way. Daryl Curtis, second off, 1 minute behind Graham McLaughlin aboard his Yamaha for the first time since 1994. Can Daryl Curtis turn the season around and make that Yamaha fly this season? Well, still standing in the way there, Nigel No Friends. One wonders when he's going to get out the way. Next off, Barry Creel from the 200 class, now aboard a 250 KTM, and certainly can make a KTM 200 fly. So let's see what he does to the 250 this year. Well, also aboard a KTM for the first time this year, Clayton Enslin. Next up, we have Philip Hanbury aboard an XR400, who has out-qualified South Africa's hero of Perry-Dakar, Alfie Cox. I think they need to go check those results from the pre-qualifiers. Anyway, let's see what Alfie Cox can do with 400 kilometers of racing ahead of him aboard his 380 KTM. Closely following Alfie Cox, 251, that is Alma Simmons. Next up aboard the Eclipse Kawasaki, Wayne Farmer, and just asking that man to please so kindly get out the way. Well, now the riders coming thick and fast. We see Rian van Niekerk, number 17, aboard the 200 KTM, one of the favorites for the 200 class, going out. Next off, Quinton Milton for the Millamua KTM team. And right behind him, aboard his Yamaha 426 Grey Dick. Well, let's see, is a 4-stroke going to be the bike to ride today in comparison to the 2-strokes? Just look at the riders now, thick and fast. This is the dust at the start line. Imagine the dust as we carry on into the Tarkastad 400. Well, leading the race and on the track is Gray McLaughlin aboard his 300 gas. Gray McLaughlin, certainly not one of the more stylish riders you're going to see, but very, very fast. Right behind him and chasing hard, Daryl Curtis. Daryl Curtis usually looks out of control, but believe me, oh, there he goes, as smooth as ever, finding the gear, and off he goes. Chasing hard, Clayton Enslin aboard his KTM, and certainly wants to make that KTM fly this year. Clayton Enslin very, very quick on the off-roads. Watch that man on the more wide open off-road. Right behind him, Barry Creel aboard the 250 and looking very good aboard that 250. Here he comes, Alfie Cox on that 380 KTM. It's going to be very, very fast out here with a lot of rocky sections in the mountains as well. So is that 380 KTM going to be the bike today? Well, maybe the 250s are going to be the bike. Gray McLaughlin coming through a little ditcher, going straight down, and Gray McLaughlin losing it, maybe coming down the mountain too directly there. Let's just see, Gray McLaughlin going to pick his bike up. Well, he has to start that thing again. Now, imagine, it's 38 degrees, you've got to start your motorbike again, and the language under that helmet must be beautiful for his mother to listen to. Chasing hard, Daryl Curtis coming down the same dip that Graham McLaughlin went down, and just look how smooth he is. He looks like he's out of control, but Daryl Curtis knows exactly what to do. Let's just look at that again. Daryl Curtis coming down and using the sides as berms. Now that is a way to do it. Anyone out there wanting to know how to ride off-road, just take a look at that style. Clayton Enslin now coming past and looking just as smooth as Daryl Curtis. Clayton Enslin really, really quick on the off-road. Remembering, these guys go out there. It's not like a motocross track where there's laps and laps and you know exactly what to do. It's unknown territory. There's rocks and ruts. You've got to be very, very careful yet fast as possible. Andrew Ogden going past now, and right behind Andrew Ogden chasing hard, Elmer Simmons aboard his 250 KTM. From the Eclipse Kawasaki team, Wayne Farmer standing up. A lot of the riders stand up to give their arms a little break. Coming up next, Rian van Niekerk aboard his 200 KTM. Rian van Niekerk, one of the favorites in the 200 class. Grey Dick aboard his 426 Yamaha coming past now. Just listen to that 426 Yamaha. Yamaha certainly have turned out a beautiful 4-stroke motorcycle. In fact, if you go to the United States nowadays, 4-strokes preferably used at motocross tracks, and a lot of 2-strokes banned from the motocross tracks. Here comes Tom Claassen aboard the Millamua team, and the Millamua team, really a big team. In fact, here is another rider, Stefan van Pletzel, going through aboard his KTM. Following him now is Jeffrey Wallater aboard his 250 KTM. Jeffrey Wallater, one of the quicker riders out there today. Well, next past the cameraman, another Millamua KTM. Dime a dozen. And look at that, a Suzuki, Rob Campbell aboard it. Let's hope the Suzukis can put one or two good performances in the off-roads this year. Younger brother of Wayne Farmer, Rory Farmer on the Eclipse Kawasaki. Through the riverbed, Rian Krailing. And remember, riverbeds usually play a big part of off-roads. Looking for a challenge, they'll always stick you through a riverbed. Right, here they come, the Bombardiers, and first on the road at the moment, Jacques Busman-Struvich on his Bombardier 650 going through and leading the quads. Chasing hard in the quads will be Sean Gunter, Cornel de Villiers, Clayton Duplessis, and the first Yamaha currently lying in 6th place will be Peter Caldera. Let's look further down the field. In the 125 class, it's being led currently by Quinton Milton, Rory Farmer, and Bernard Johnson. There's Daryl Curtis aboard his Yamaha going through the first fuel stop. Let's look further back in the field. In the 200 class, currently leading Andrew Ogden from 2nd place, Rian van Niekerk aboard the KTM. The first Kawasaki in the 200 class, currently lying in 6th position, is Vernon Lowe aboard his Boxberg Kawasaki. In the 250 class, as the man went through the fuel stop, Daryl Curtis leading from Elmer Simmons aboard his KTM. This is Barry Creel in the 250 class and well in contention in this class aboard his KTM. In the 250 class, lying in 4th position currently, is Rob Campbell aboard his Suzuki. He is entered by Ramco Suzuki, a Natal-based team, and good to see Ramco and Suzuki involved in off-road racing.
Yeah. Because I've tightened the top one, the bottom ones might be coming loose, but you've got to take the spring out the way. Okay.
Well, talk about a man in tune with his machine, Alfie Cox, just letting his pit crew know that at the next refuel stop, please to have certain tools on hand so he can do some running repairs to his bikes. into the refuel stop. Elmer Simmons followed very closely and saying hello to our cameraman there, Andrew Ogden. Back on the track and leading the quads, Jacques Strubig. Noticed he's got his sleeves cut off. I don't know if that'll be so handy when he comes through the thorn bushes, but Jacques Bosman Strubig doesn't get that nickname for nothing. Moving up into second place now aboard his Bombardier 650, Sean Gunter going hard and chasing Jacques Strubig. Coming up next, Danny Heenan. Danny Heenan riding in the 200 class and eating the dust of the Bombardier 650s. Chasing hard, L7, Clayton Duplessis aboard his Bombardier, and Clayton Duplessis currently lying in 4th position and got a lot of work to do if he wants to get up onto the podium position. L1 comes past us now, that is Cornel de Villiers aboard another Bombardier. Well, the quad class certainly being led by the Bombardiers. Well, good to see a Yamaha quad finally for a change. Carl Rickman coming past aboard his Yamaha and chasing hard. The Bombardiers way ahead in front of him, got a lot of work to do. Out in front, Graham McLaughlin aboard his 300 gas. He's on the front in the road, and can he keep that position? Because right behind him and chasing very hard aboard his Yamaha is Daryl Curtis. Daryl Curtis just stopping and, well, little lost, Daryl. Right ahead of you, boy. You just keep going on. Next up, Clayton Ensland, and just look at the style. He comes over a lot of air. Remembering off-road, the guys try not to get too much air because 400 kilometers is a long, long way, and they just try to save the energy and keep going for the rest of the day. Alfie Cox coming over, a little more cautious than Clayton Ensland over there, but Alfie knows exactly what to do and how to win an off-road race. Well, a lot of air there for Elmer Simmons. Maybe he should be a motocross rider in his spare time. Andrew Ogden aboard his KTM 200 going past us now. Another one of those Millimore racing teams, and we're going to see them the whole year. Grey Dick coming past and currently lying 3rd in his class and 7th overall on the road. Oh, he looks like he's got a problem. Maybe a broken chain there for Grey Dick aboard his Yamaha. Now just look how technical this is. Remember, an off-road race, you think you climb on the road and you hang on the cable for 400 kilometers. Well, not so.
Great, tell us what's happened here.
Basically, I think some of the wheel bolts came out. The sprocket bolts, should I say. And it's just broken the balance of the bolts off. Obviously from hitting one of the dips here. I don't know. Bit of bad luck. Hopefully we can get another wheel and put it on and carry on.
Well, bad luck it certainly is for Grey Dick, but out in front, Graham McLaughlin being chased hard by Daryl Curtis and Clayton Ensland. Be sure to catch us on 2 wheels next week for the finish of the Tarkastad 400.